Now at 8, a person is dead and another is hospitalized after a shooting in Sun Prairie. We've got the details ahead. Plus, the stakes were high during last night's Senate debate, but both candidates hope to get across to viewers at home. This is Weekend Mornings. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Pazorski. It is Saturday, October 19th. We begin with taking a look at the first warm forecast, and Jacob has what you need to know. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. And today is going to be a very nice one. Right now, temperatures definitely a little chilly, but 45 degrees, a little bit warmer than what we've seen during the morning this past week. We also are seeing plenty of sunshine. And as we look at the temperatures across the area, the further northwest you go, temperatures in the 50s, and they've been in the 50s all morning, kind of a sign of what's to come this weekend. Now, much of Wisconsin in the 40s and even some 30s across the area, but the entire area expected to get into at least the 70s this weekend. Now, looking at the current winds, much of the region seeing calm winds at this hour, but we could see some breezy weather this weekend. Not as windy as some of the previous days the past couple of weeks where we have seen some very strong winds. It's not going to be quite as windy during the day today and tomorrow. Now, looking at the current radar, we are seeing some light showers up in northern Wisconsin. And the further north you're located, the better chance you could see some light rain, but much of Wisconsin will be completely dry during the day. And here's a look at your full forecast for Madison. Sunshine, highs in the lower 70s. Again, winds going to be a little breezy, but not too bad, only maxing out around 10 miles per hour. And as we look at La Crosse's forecast, temperatures may be even warmer for you folks. Highs will be in the middle 70s. Now, the temperatures will continue to warm up for your Sunday. I'll talk about just how warm it could get coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We'll check back in just a bit. To our top stories this morning, a person is dead and another is hospitalized after a shooting in Sun Prairie last night. Sun Prairie police telling us officers were called to the area of Martin and Elm Streets at around 7 Friday evening. Lieutenant Ray Thompson saying the victims were known to each other.
It's an active investigation. The victims are known to each other, and we continue to work both with our agency and assisting agencies like the Dane County Sheriff's Office.
Thompson further saying a suspect hasn't been identified and no arrests have been made. The person in the hospital is in stable condition. Wisconsin's two Senate candidates faced off in their first and only scheduled debate Friday night, and it was a high-stakes moment for both of them in this campaign. Recent political ratings organizations once said the race leans Democrat, and now they're calling it a toss-up. Incumbent Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin and Republican candidate Eric Hovde were asked about many issues from healthcare to immigration to foreign policy. The candidates also asked if they would support making Roe v. Wade the law of the land once again.
I am so proud to lead the Women's Health Protection Act, which would restore Roe nationwide. My opponent has said that he is 100% opposed to abortion rights.
I agree with exceptions for rape, incest, and the health of the mother. And I think women should have a right to decide early on in their pregnancy. Senator Baldwin, you have passed or pushed to allow abortion to happen up to the point of delivery.
The candidates were also asked about campaign ads they've run that have been proven false by several independent outlets, with both candidates standing behind the claims made in their respective ads. Staying on the campaign trail, Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is making a stop in Wisconsin this weekend. The Ohio senator will speak in Waukesha at Stein's Arrow tomorrow. His rally is set to start at 5 in the afternoon. Vance is expected to speak on issues affecting Catholic voters. Meanwhile, former President Barack Obama is campaigning in Madison next week. It is a joint visit with Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz. The pair will be in town on Tuesday, the same day that early voting begins. A time and location for the rally were not released. And this visit comes amid a flurry of stops by Democratic surrogates, including Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who will be in Eau Claire on Sunday and La Crosse on Monday. On Friday, the race for the White House took both candidates to Michigan, holding campaign events in the same county. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the latest and what's in store for the weekend.
With early voting starting Saturday in Michigan, Vice President Harris and former President Trump both barnstormed the state, trying to lock down votes and bashing each other.
She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
Donald Trump, one of the biggest losers of manufacturing jobs in American history. Prairie.
They crisscrossed Michigan Friday with multiple campaign stops. Polls show the state is a toss-up. President Biden won it in 2020, while Trump won in 2016.
That by the end of my term, the entire world will be talking about the Michigan miracle and the stunning rebirth of Detroit.
In battleground Pennsylvania Friday, billionaire Elon Musk stumped for Trump, while in Arizona, former President Barack Obama campaigned for Harris.
What I cannot understand is why anyone would think that Donald Trump will shake things up in a way that is good for you. That I don't understand.
And in these final days, Taylor Swift is also being heard. Swift, of course, endorsed Harris in September. And as she launches another leg of her Eras tour in Miami, the DNC is rolling out Swift-themed billboards and Snapchat filters, hoping to get young people to vote. As the candidates know all too well, every vote matters. Trump heads to Georgia today, while Harris campaigns in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
In the 24 hours after Swift endorsed Harris in September, more than 400,000 people visited the voter registration site vote.org. Wall Street ended the week on a positive note, with the Dow Jones setting a fresh record high. The NASDAQ also up, while the S&P 500 showed a more modest gain. NVIDIA, Nokia, and Plug Power Inc. were among Friday's hot stocks, and here's a closer look at Friday's numbers. The Dow is up more than 36 points. The NASDAQ rose nearly 116, while the S&P closed with a more than 23-point increase. Well, it appears to be taking longer for some young adults to find jobs in the United States. According to recent Labor Department data, the share of employed Americans between 20 and 24 years old declined the most of any age group last month compared to the same month in 2023. That was followed by a slightly smaller decline among people 25 to 34 years old compared to last year. Unemployment remains historically low, and there are still more job openings than before the COVID-19 pandemic. Back here locally, some community leaders are highlighting the importance of nutritious meals through a special event in Middleton schools. This week is National School Nutrition Week, and community leaders, including representatives from the Middleton Police, Fire, and EMS departments, joined school staff Friday to serve lunch. On the menus, students could choose from a slice of whole wheat cheese pizza and pick their own toppings from a special toppings bar.
I mean, just understanding how to be healthy and make healthy food choices is an important part of growing and learning. So that's something that we want to continue to offer, and making sure that they have a diverse and culturally, appropriate foods that they can choose from.
The Middleton School District offers a salad bar to students every day at lunch as a way to put something healthy and nutritious on children's plates as well. A comedy duo from the Washington, D.C. area is making a stop in Madison for their musical tour. Griefcat is coming to the Borough on October 28th. The stop is part of their national headline tour, which kicks off Tuesday in Chicago. The duo uses music to poke fun at every facet of American life. And their latest album, Late Stage Capitalism, looks at how corporations have invaded people's private lives.
I mean, we like to kind of write a little bit of what we know and what we observe, observational comedy. I think a lot of what we do is pretty satirical. But one of the things that we really like to focus on is that it really is music. We're musicians first, and we just happen to be funny.
Griefcat's tour will wrap up on November 17th back in D.C. In sports, Wisconsin Badger football heads to Northwestern today. Badgers are coming off a 2-game winning streak, beating Rutgers in Big Ten play in a 42-7 victory last weekend. Wildcats are sitting at a 3-3 record, beating Maryland in their last game. Kickoff is at 11 and will be broadcast on the Big Ten Network. And in Green Bay, the city there is asking for a new judge in a lawsuit seeking to stop the removal of the Packers Heritage Trail Monument. The corner where the monument sits is slated for a luxury apartment building, and the city wants the monument moved. A group that created the monument filed the suit this week, and the city asked for a new judge ahead of a scheduled hearing on Friday. And a new judge has signed a temporary restraining order, and a hearing is expected before the end of this month. Time now is 8:08 here on your Saturday morning. Still ahead, the Wisconsin Book Festival is back this weekend. how it's giving readers and authors the chance to connect is next. And let's take a live look outside at the state capitol in downtown Madison. Jacob has the full first warn forecast next on Weekend Mornings.
The Packers take on the Texans Sunday at noon.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, and dirt are settling deep into your carpet fibers. Stanley Steamer removes the dirt you see and the dirt you don't. Your carpets aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible. Discover stressless seating at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, it's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. Right now, take 10% off all stressless recliners, sofas, tables, and ottomans. The Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
It's a great time to have RG Heating and Air Conditioning check your home's furnace system for safety and efficiency. RG services all brands and installs quality Trane equipment to keep your home running smooth year-round. Call RG Heating and AC today.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. I did a great service in doing it.
You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women suffering from a miscarriage being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. The freedom to make decisions about one's own body should not be made by the government.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Announcing the winners of Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Congratulations to Eisenberg Law Office for winning bronze for Best Law Firm, serving clients since 1983. See all the winners on MadisonMagazine.com.
Allergies aren't fun for anyone, especially when they work their way into your home. A professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer can dramatically improve indoor air quality and significantly reduce indoor allergens. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We are going to see very mild temperatures over the weekend, with the cool down not coming until the middle of next week, and we also will be staying dry. Now, just to the south of us in Evanston, Wisconsin will be playing Northwestern, and for those of you that plan on attending the football game, you know, only about an hour-and-a-half to 2-hour drive, it is going to be very nice there as well. Temperatures throughout the game, upper 60s, lower 70s, pretty calm wind. Definitely bring sunglasses if you plan on attending, but definitely encourage people to maybe take a quick drive south to the game, because it is going to be just about perfect out, and that's the case for southern Wisconsin as well. Here's a look at the highs for today. Lower to middle 70s, a little bit warmer as you get closer to the Mississippi River, where high temperatures will be in the middle 70s, but around 71 for Madison. And as we head into the overnight hours, this morning they're in the 40s and 30s. Tomorrow morning they're going to be in the 50s. Now, these temperatures will likely be warmer than the highs we saw last Tuesday. The high in Madison was 50 degrees. Forecasted lows are in the lower 50s for tonight, so it is going to be a very mild one. And then we could be hitting the lower 80s for your Sunday, especially for areas off to the west near the Mississippi River. You folks are a little bit more likely to hit the lower 80s. Forecasted highs in Madison will be in the upper 70s, but still very, very unseasonably mild. The average high this time of year is in the upper 50s, and we could be flirting with 80. Definitely a little bit of a taste of our last taste of summer before we kind of officially say goodbye to these warm temperatures. Now, looking at at the wind gust forecast, it's not going to be too bad today, only up to around 15 to 20 miles per hour. It will get a little bit breezy overnight and into tomorrow, but these winds will be what fuels the warm temperatures as they're going to be out of the southwest. So a little bit breezy for your day on Sunday, but for the most part, it is not going to be as windy as some of the previous windy days we've had over the last couple of weeks. Now, as far as rainfall goes, this is the amount of rain we're expecting over the next 7 days, and this shade of green indicates only about 1/10 of an inch of rain for just about everybody. So the rainfall will be pretty light going forward. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the area still does not see any rainfall from here until next Saturday morning. So here's a full look at the 10-day forecast. Notice temperatures will drop pretty significantly from Tuesday to Wednesday, but even the highs on Wednesday and Thursday, that's what we normally see this time of the year. Now, again, this is really the last taste of summer we're probably going to see, at least highs in the lower 80s, because the highs on Sunday and Monday aren't going to be flirting with records. And by the time we get to Halloween, the record highs are in the 70s, so it's very unlikely we'll get to the 80s by then. So this may be the last time we'll even be close to the 80s. So if you like the warm temperatures, definitely get out and enjoy the weather. But even throughout next week, temperatures will still be comfortable.
All right, Jacob, thank you. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the world's coral reefs are experiencing the largest mass bleaching event on record. The agency estimates 77% of reefs around the globe have experienced heat stress that causes bleaching since last year. Bleaching happens when ocean water becomes warmer, stressing the corals. They can eventually die if the water temperature does not cool. And this is the 4th global bleaching event since 1998. And although it's the most extensive, scientists are not yet calling it the worst on record.
Corals can still die for upwards of 1 to 2 years after they bleach. So we really won't know until this event ends, and then we do monitoring for a good year or two after the end of this bleaching event.
The last coral bleaching event was from 2014 to 2017, and this one is still increasing in size. Meanwhile, the Biden-Harris administration is announcing $2 billion in new funding around the country to protect the electric grid against growing threats of extreme weather. In Wisconsin, we are getting about $150 million of that money from the Grid Resilience and Innovation Partnerships Program. One project plans to cut the number of people who lose power in circuit-wide outages by half in 27 disadvantaged communities and 2 tribal communities. The other project will build and improve transmission infrastructure around the state. The Girl Scouts organization is voting whether to raise membership dues from $25 a year to $85 a year. That's a 240% hike per scout. Membership dues are the organization's largest source of revenue. It was in 2023 when they generated $38 million from nearly 2 million members. But the Girl Scouts has faced cash flow issues stemming from the pandemic, inflation, and changing consumer behaviors. Some members believe the hike is out of reach for many families. Delegates of the Girl Scouts National Council will vote today on the new membership fees. A perfect event for local book lovers is taking place here in Madison. The Wisconsin Book Festival is giving readers and authors the chance to connect. Tanisha Shaw spoke to organizers about the way to take advantage of the free event.
We see so many special moments where folks turn to each other because they laugh at something that the author says at the exact same time in our events.
Every fall, Madison Public Library hosts its Fall Book Festival for bookworms all over Dane County.
It's so important to think about the timelessness and the universality of reading and writing and coming together to share in a unique and special moment.
Roughly 70 authors are speaking throughout the city of Madison this weekend. Even if you haven't read any of these books, they say you can still stop by.
You don't actually have to have any knowledge or any background on any of these books. Like, you can come and you can be spontaneous and just sort of walk in and join us.
This event prioritizes independent writers, authors, and small business owners, like Molly Fish. She owns Madison's Lake City Books.
We can be selling the books that the authors are there to promote and sign. So you get access to getting signed copies and get to actually talk to these authors, and it's all free and open to the public.
About 55 events are hosted in just 4 days. All of them help bridge communities and enhance creativity.
It's so fun to see where people come from, what their backgrounds are, and the fact that they come together to share in a particular event.
That's News 3 Now's Tanisha Shaw reporting. The events began yesterday and festivities wrap up tomorrow. Well, there may be less chocolate in your kids' trick-or-treat bags this Halloween, as experts say. That's because high cocoa prices are driving consumers to purchase more gummy and fruity treats. Market research firm Circana says while chocolate still dominates more teens and middle-aged adults, middle-aged adults are leaning towards gummy and sour candy. One reason is because they tend to be less expensive, and two, there's now a broader range of flavors to choose from. The National Retail Federation expects Halloween spending in general to drop compared to last year's record-breaking sales. Coming up now on 8:20 here on your Saturday morning. Next, Jake was back with a quick check at today's forecast. Plus, there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will Loper shares his picks and 3 things to watch when we return.
The Madison Club, providing you with outstanding cuisine, extraordinary service, and an experience like you won't find anywhere else in town. Join today.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Sometimes the smallest cracks can cause the biggest chills. And something sinister is lurking in the shadows.
What was that?
To survive, they must seal their fate.
It's not working.
With Feldco.
50% off Windows ends soon. Come now.
This fall, watch out for The Draft.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco. It's your thing.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Pick and Save. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $2 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
No chemical additives, no artificial ingredients. We've made it this way for 5 generations.
Actually, Grandpa, it's more like 7 generations now, and we still make our roll sausage the very same way. Pork, salt, and spices. That's it.
It's the same delicious flavor and simple quality ingredients that has made it a mainstay in breakfast tables for over 130 years.
Trust Jones for honest-to-goodness sausage.
Let's take a moment and check out some weather photos. You know, the last couple of weeks, we have kind of had a treat across the night sky in southern Wisconsin. This photo sent in by Chris from Parterville shows a comet that was only visible the last couple of nights across the United States. So thank you, Chris, for submitting that photo. We also have another photo. Not sure if this is showing the northern lights, but there is kind of a purple tint to the sky. Also does look like you can see that comet up there. Not 100% sure if that's what we're looking at, but thank you nonetheless, Chris, for submitting that photo. This was from Oxford, and this photo sent in by Audrey shows full moon, which we did have the other night as well. So it really has been a very nice night sky the last couple of weeks in southern Wisconsin, and we've had clear skies for everyone to see them. Now, as we look at how you can submit your photos, you can go to our website, channel3000.com, click on the weather tab, then scroll down till you see post your own, then give us your name and location. It is as simple as that.
All right, Jacob, thank you. From a new series hitting Hulu to a game show testing your smarts, there is no shortage of content streaming right now. Our Loper shares a few of the best in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
1986. You can have whatever you want.
Newly streaming on Hulu is the series Rivals.
If you don't start spending some of that fortune making decent television, you're going to lose your business.
The show tells the story of cutthroat indie television in the 1980s UK.
Having an opponent
makes life much more exciting.
All 8 episodes of Rivals are streaming on Hulu now.
I'm going to destroy you.
A game show where people could win ridiculous money just by answering questions about stuff we all learned back in elementary school.
Test your smarts with Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity? Newly streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
I don't know anything about geography. Me neither.
A contestant must answer a series of elementary-level questions with the help of a panel of celebrities.
You're an offensive player, is that correct?
That's me, yeah.
And I'm an offensive comedian.
The first 3 episodes of Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity are streaming on Amazon Prime Video now.
Helen, I can barely afford my rent.
Well, I booked you a guest spot on a TV show.
And newly streaming on Netflix is the film Woman of the Hour.
Let the games begin.
Bachelor number 1. This is nice and easy. What are girls for?
Anna Kendrick directs and stars in the real-life story about an actress on a dating show who crosses paths with a serial killer.
And Bachelor number 3. I'm counting on you. What are girls for?
Woman of the Hour is streaming on Netflix now. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for Weekend Mornings.
And coming up next, we got to look at our top morning headlines. Stick around. This is Weekend Mornings.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out. Snatch waist. Loving, loving, loving the results. It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-888-510-6198 now, or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Happy anniversary!
Join us for our anniversary sale.
And help us celebrate. We're having our biggest sale of the year with savings throughout the showroom.
Where you can save big.
And you can save big.
You can save big. You can save big. On quality home furnishings throughout the
showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
Wanakee Furniture ETC. Bringing quality homes since 1996.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord. And so does a turbocharged engine. Sophisticated. High-tech. Style that enhances functionality. Stand out with the Honda Accord. From Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
When I was 5, I began getting sexually abused by my stepfather, and he got me pregnant when I was 12. "64,000 pregnancies from rape have occurred in states with total abortion bans. And Trump did this. Women and girls need to have choices. With Kamala Harris, we do."
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
It's 8:30 right now. A person is dead and another is hospitalized after a shooting in Sun Prairie. The details ahead. Plus, the stakes were high during last night's Senate debate, what both candidates hope to get across to viewers. This is Weekend Mornings. Thanks again for watching us here on WISC-TV and WKBT in La Crosse. We begin this half hour by taking a look outside with Jacob. He has your first warm forecast. Good morning.
Good morning, Kyle, and it's going to be a very nice day. Now, right now, temperatures are still a bit chilly, but they are warmer than what a lot of the mornings this week have been. Right now, 45 degrees, mostly sunny skies, winds pretty calm at this hour. And looking at the temperatures, especially further northwest around La Crosse and northwest of that as well, you kind of see signs of things to come as temperatures in the 50s right now. Now, there are a lot of areas in Wisconsin still in the lower 40s and 30s, but our entire area expected to get into at least the 70s this weekend. As far as cloud cover goes, there will be a little bit more in the central and northern portion of Wisconsin, and you folks around Eau Claire could see a few sprinkles, but southern Wisconsin going to be pretty much completely dry and also completely clear for a good portion of the day with just a few clouds here and there, not much else. As far as the temperatures, like I mentioned, lower 70s are in the forecast. Highs will be in the middle 70s for areas a bit off to the west. Winds not too bad, maxing out at around 10 miles per hour. And for La Crosse, a little bit warmer, middle 70s, but for the most part, lower to middle 70s across the entire region with plenty of sunshine. But it's going to get even warmer for Sunday. Might be our last little taste of summer before temperatures look to stay away from the 80s going forward. But I'll talk more in detail about that. And yes, 80s are possible. The details will be later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. To our top stories, a person is dead and another is hospitalized after a shooting in Sun Prairie last night. Sun Prairie police telling us officers were called to the area of Martin and Elm Streets at around 7 Friday evening. Lieutenant Ray Thompson saying the victims were known to each other.
It's an active investigation. The victims are known to each other, and we continue to work both with our agency and assisting agencies like the Dane County Sheriff's Office.
Thompson further saying a suspect hasn't been identified and no arrests have been made. The person hospitalized is in stable condition. Wisconsin's two Senate candidates faced off in their first and only scheduled debate Friday night, a high-stakes moment for both of them in this campaign. Recent political ratings organizations once said the race leans Democrat, and now they're calling it a toss-up. Incumbent Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin and Republican candidate Eric Hovde were asked about many issues from health care to immigration to foreign policy. Take a look at this moment when the candidates were asked if they would support making Roe v. Wade the law of the land once again.
I am so proud to lead the Women's Health Protection Act, which would restore Roe nationwide. My opponent has said that he is 100% opposed to abortion rights.
I agree with exceptions for rape, incest, and the health of the mother, and I think women should have a right to decide early on in their pregnancy. Senator Baldwin, you have passed or pushed to allow abortion to happen up to the point of delivery.
The candidates were also asked about foreign policy as well as about campaign ads they've run that have been proven false by several independent outlets, with both candidates standing behind the claims made in their respective ads. Staying on the campaign trail, Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is making a stop in Wisconsin this weekend. The Ohio senator will speak in Waukesha at Stein's Arrow tomorrow. His rally is set to start at 5 in the afternoon. Vance is expected to speak on issues affecting Catholic voters. Meanwhile, former President Barack Obama is campaigning in Madison next week. It is a joint visit with Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz. The pair will be in town on Tuesday, the same day that early voting begins in the state. A time and location for the rally were not released, and this visit comes amid a flurry of stops by Democratic surrogates, including Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who will be in Eau Claire on Sunday and La Crosse on Monday. And another former president is announcing their visit to Wisconsin this weekend. However, their administration was only fictional. Members of the cast of West Wing will be making a stop to Madison Sunday morning, as well as a few other stops in the state throughout the weekend. Martin Sheen, who portrayed President Jed Bartlett in the show The West Wing, will be there, along with many others from the show. The group will be canvassing through Wisconsin and hosting 25 years of West Wing reunions. Some more local news. Community leaders are highlighting the importance of nutritious meals through a special event in Middleton schools. This week is National School Nutrition Week, and community leaders, including representatives from the Middleton Police, Fire, and EMS departments, joined school staff Friday to serve lunch. On the menu were for students, they could choose from a slice of whole wheat cheese pizza and pick their own toppings from a special toppings bar.
I mean, just understanding how to be healthy and make healthy food choices is an important part of growing and learning. So that's something that we want to continue to offer, and making sure that they have a diverse and culturally, appropriate foods that they can choose from.
The Middleton School District offers a salad bar to students every day at lunch as a way to put something healthy and nutritious on kids' plates as well. A comedy duo from the Washington, D.C. area is making a stop in Madison for their musical tour. Griefcat is coming to the Burr Oak on October 28th. The stop is part of their national headline tour, which kicks off Tuesday in Chicago. The duo uses music to poke fun at every facet of American life. Their latest album, Late Stage Capitalism, looks at how corporations have invaded people's private lives.
I mean, we like to kind of write a little bit of what we know and what we observe, observational comedy. I think a lot of what we do is pretty satirical. But one of the things that we really like to focus on is that it really is music. We're musicians first, and we just happen to be funny.
Griefcat's tour will wrap up on November 17th back in D.C. Time now is 8:36. Still ahead, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is getting some new inductees this weekend. We'll check out the exhibit. Plus, here's a look at today's day in history.
Stanton Optical believes eye care should be affordable. Right now, for only $135, you get 2 pairs of progressives, plus all this. All that costs over $200 everywhere else. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical, easy's our thing. Welcome to Too Good to Guess. Can you guess how much 2 pairs of progressives, a free eye exam, and anti-glare lens upgrade will cost at Stanton Optical? Only $135? Wow, a deal so good, every customer wins. Book your eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hubdy supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Get cozy in Door County with a stay at Open Hearth Lodge. Find relaxation in our King Whirlpool rooms, or enjoy time with your family in one of our dog-friendly suites. At Open Hearth Lodge, stay active with our exercise facility and start your day with a continental breakfast. Enjoy our indoor pool and hot tub and share stories around one of our outdoor fire pits. Open Hearth Lodge, a Door County getaway with all the comforts of home.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible. Discover stressless seating at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, It's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. Right now, take 10% off all stressless recliners, sofas, tables, and ottomans. The Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Monday at 10, Madison has a $22 million budget gap and a big ask for local voters.
If we can pass this referendum, we can balance the budget for 6 years.
All of city officials break down the question you'll see on next month's ballot. Learn what a yes vote will mean for your tax bill and the city services you could lose if the referendum fails.
I think, obviously it impacts us a lot.
3 for the People, Monday on News 3 Now at 10.
We've been talking about the last couple of weeks. The drought continues to worsen, and the latest drought monitor shows a severe drought beginning to develop in southern Wisconsin. Now, we are certainly not alone when it comes to this drought, because looking across the United States, really outside of the far northeast and the areas that were just impacted by the 2 recent hurricanes, pretty much the entire United States under some form of drought, or at least there is drought nearby. There's few parts of the United States actually seeing extreme to exceptional drought. So we're really not the only area of the United States dealing with this. And if we take a look at future track, there is some rain out in the Rockies, but as the system pushes across the United States, it's really going to dissipate. So the central and eastern half of the U.S. probably won't see much, just a few light showers here and there, maybe some rain in the northeast, and ironically the area that doesn't need it. But still, we're not expecting a lot of rainfall across the United States going forward anyway.
Jacob, thank you. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland has unveiled its new exhibit for this year's inductees. There's a lot to see. Maya Lockett has a look at the highlights.
A class of inductees means a new exhibit at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I think the most unique thing about this class is the size of it. 16 inductees, so we have to treat them all equally, celebrate them all equally, and fit their artifacts into the exhibit.
The 2024 class includes Cher, Mary J. Blige, Ozzy Osbourne, Kool and the Gang, and other musical legends that made an impact on rock and roll.
And it really shows how diverse rock and roll is. It's not just, 4 white guys with guitars. It's blues, it's country, it's R&B, it's all of these things. It's all the same spirit of rock and roll.
Amanda and Andy Leach have been working on the exhibit since this year's class was announced in May. A class they say is the most diverse they have seen.
There's a little something in this exhibit and in this inductee class for everybody.
The pair collected artifacts from the inductees and their families.
We have Peter Frampton's talk box and his outfit from the cover of Frampton Comes Alive, Ozzy Osbourne's stage outfits, Cher's stage outfits, which are so amazing. So just such a wide variety.
Giving museum visitors a chance to connect with the artists through their personal and most beloved items.
I think I really want folks to have an emotional connection with the exhibit, because these songs are really the soundtrack of our lives.
And educate them on artists people may be unfamiliar with.
Most visitors who come here maybe haven't heard Big Mama Thornton or know who Alexis Korner is. So there's a little bit more of an educational approach to what the text we're writing and the items we're putting up, because we're trying to teach them about the importance of some of these artists.
And honoring those who aren't around to see their name engraved into the museum's long list of Hall of Famers.
Collecting from all the MC5 families, because all the members have sadly passed away. For me, it's just getting all those artifacts together in one place for the first time in 50 years is unbelievable.
And this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland later on today. Coming up now on 8:43, still ahead, food delivery workers in China are hitting a rough patch in the road for their industry. We got that next. Plus, let's take a live look outside at the state capitol in downtown Madison. Jacob has another check of the forecast next on Weekend Mornings.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night, tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team.
At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems.
And when we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains, we turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points. The Tempur Adapt features innovative technology, so you get deep, undisturbed rest all night long.
Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
These Baldwin ads are nasty.
I can't stand them.
She never tells the truth. Now she says Eric Hovde wants to raise the retirement age.
That's malarkey.
I saw in the news Social Security will be going bankrupt in 8 years.
Are you kidding? We need Social Security.
You're surprised? Washington spends money like crazy.
And Baldwin supports all of it.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
You better get a job.
You get a job.
Dear road rivals, no truck on the road drives value like the Tundra. Day after day, mile after mile, it all adds up to big savings under the hood. What's under yours? Toyota Tundra.
Right now, lease a new Tundra for $479 a month or get 3.99% APR for 72 months on a new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hello, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We are going to see very mild temperatures over the weekend, cooler temperatures by the middle of next week, but in both situations, we are still going to see dry weather. Really no end in sight to the dry pattern we're seeing. So here's one last look at the forecast for today. High temperatures in the middle to lower 70s. That's going to be a very nice one. We'll see plenty of sunshine as well, just a few clouds here and there, but that is just about it. Now, as we go into tomorrow, temperatures are going to be even warmer. Highs could possibly hit the lower 80s, and this may be the last day that we see the 80s in southern Wisconsin because we're going to be flirting with record highs this day. Now, we're probably not going to get to that level, but by the end of the 10-day forecast, the record highs, around Halloween, those are in the upper 70s, so very unlikely we'll get back up to the 80s once we get past these warm temperatures because we're not really expecting anything close to the 80s for the rest of the 10-day forecast. So again, if you like the warm weather and you want one last taste of summer, Sunday will be your day. But even Monday is going to be pretty mild with highs once again in the upper 70s, but then temperatures are going to fall pretty quickly for Tuesday and then Wednesday. Highs will be around 60 Wednesday through Friday, but notice the normal level level is still below that. By the time we get to next week, we're talking about average highs close to the middle 50s, and that will be the case by the end of the 10-day forecast. Now, temperatures are going to warm back up into the upper 60s, but like I mentioned, we're not going to see anything close to the 80s. So I'm guessing that this is the last chance we could see the 80s for the rest of the year, as temperatures as a whole will continue to drop. And once we get to the end of October and early November, we would be well above the record high if we even get to the 80s. So again, this is probably the last time we're going to see it, but temperatures are going to remain above normal. Over the end of October and early November, we are likely going to see high temperatures around 70. So looking like a very comfortable Halloween, as temperatures, again, above average, but even the 60s are above average for this time of the year. Once again, we are going to remain dry going forward. A few small chances of rain Monday night through Wednesday during the day, but that will be just about it. Dry weather through the weekend and for the end of next week. And here's a look at the total rainfall we're going to see the next 7 days. This shade of green indicating just about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall, so not much rain is in the forecast. Here's a look at the full 7 to 10 day forecast. Notice those overnight lows are going to be very mild as well, with lows in the middle 50s. By the time we get to next week, though, we'll see those lows in the 30s, but still, we are going to see pretty comfortable temperatures even when they drop. Now, it will be windy a few days, but the winds aren't expected to be quite as bad as some of the previous windy days we have seen. So overall, very nice forecast. We'd like to see a little bit more rainfall considering our drought situation, but the conditions outside will be very comfortable.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Next this morning, we're going to take a look at how China's slumping economy is affecting people on the street. Reporter Mark Stewart found that drivers in the world's largest food delivery market are feeling some added pressure.
Food delivery drivers in China packing up hot meals and hot tempers. This driver breaks down after getting a negative customer review. Another driver snaps as police stop him for running a red light. Both episodes could mean a cut in their pay linked to on-time delivery and customer satisfaction. It's a job that keeps drivers on their feet and on the street as they battle the bustle, including here in Beijing. Safety isn't the only struggle.
What about customers? Are they ever rude to you?
There are all kinds of customers. It's difficult to avoid.
We followed 35-year-old Yang as he navigated the lunchtime rush.
Is this a good way to make a living?
I think it's fine, but not as easy as before. More people are doing the same job.
This is big business. Last year, there were about 12 million delivery drivers on the road. It's a number that's been growing. Last year, industry giant Meituan saw its revenue climb 26% year on year to more than $10 billion. Yet paychecks are shrinking from more than $1,000 a month in 2018 to less than $950 a month in 2023. Experts say this could be due in part to the economic slump in China as consumers place cheaper orders and combine their purchases. 20-year-old driver Liu tells us he makes about $30 to $40 a day.
I work from 10 a.m. onward to past 8 p.m., about 30 deliveries.
For some drivers, that's still better than the alternatives. It's flexible and beats sweating hours on a farm or a factory floor. But as China keeps growing its appetite of swiping for service, job frustration appears to be eating away at more delivery drivers.
It's Mark Stewart reporting. Still to come, we'll share a good reason to take today slow. That's next on Weekend Mornings.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, and dirt are settling deep into your carpet fibers. Stanley Steamer removes the dirt you see and the dirt you don't. Your carpets aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
For 7 generations, our sausage recipe has remained the same. We haven't wavered. We have not compromised. You can see it in our labels. Smell it as you cook it, and taste it in every bite. It's our family tradition to never settle for less, and neither should you. Breakfast better with Jones.
Discover a level of comfort you never thought possible. Discover stressless seating at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with your body's natural movements, it's the premier destination for relaxation and rejuvenation. Right now, take 10% off all stressless recliners, sofas, tables, and ottomans. The Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Sometimes the smallest cracks can cause the biggest chills. This fall, watch out for the Draft.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Allergies aren't fun for anyone, especially when they work their way into your home. A professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer can dramatically improve indoor air quality and significantly reduce indoor allergens. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
Mission Unstoppable, Saturday morning at 9.
Finally this morning, there's no need to hurry today as it is International Sloth Day. And just to be clear, we are talking about nature's slow pokes. Now's the perfect time to slow down and look around and catch these cute little guys. Jacob, is there a favorite zoo animal of yours? Because these I like to see at the zoo every time.
I don't know if I do, and I'll get to that in a moment, but I don't know if I've ever seen a sloth in the zoo. I probably have, and it's just like, you know,
well, you didn't see it because it's not moving, because it's so slow.
That is true. I always remember certain exhibits, specifically the wolf exhibit. You can never see the animals.
I like the capybaras. You ever see those?
Oh, I've heard of them. What do they look like again?
They kind of look like a dog in some kind of way. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. But anyway, to answer your question,
sloths. Do you like them?
I do like sloths, but you asked if I have a favorite zoo animal. Definitely the penguins.
Okay.
They are classic. Plus, I remember I grew up in Chicago. I went to Brookfield Zoo a lot, for anyone that may know that zoo. And they always had like 20, and they're all visible, and they're just like, you know, splashing in and out of the you know, the little water they had. I also loved the gorilla exhibit just because they were always, you know, fighting each other. It was funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a look at the Badger football forecast at Northwestern. The forecast in Evanston looking very similar to the forecast here.
And they're playing on the lake.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually, the background photo is Madison, but still, it's looking to be very nice there as well. Just as nice as it will be here, actually. If we take a look at the forecast, lower 70s for highs, upper 70s for your Sunday and Monday. Could even flirt with some 80s, which may be the last time this year. And then we are going to see those temperatures fall for the middle of next week. But those highs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those are still a little bit above normal. The normal high this time of year, at least by next week, will be in the middle 50s. Temperatures will warm back up for next weekend, but probably not going to be as warm as it will be tomorrow. Highs will be in the upper 60s. And like I mentioned a moment ago, other than the fact that we need the rainfall, this time of year, it's hard to find a forecast better than this. It is going to be very, very nice. Definitely get out and enjoy the weather, especially if you like warm temperatures, because probably won't get this warm for the rest of the year.